They both die at the end. Let's begin. Bam! They both die at the end. It's probably one of the coolest title for a book ever. So I am gonna begin by telling you what it is about, because since the ending is kind of spoiled in the title. Yes. It is this world that has this kind of technology that can predict exactly when you can die. And it doesn't tell you how you would die, it just tells you when. And you can't escape it, you can't try to twist it, you can't do anything. And it's been this technology in this world for so long that it's become a part of their life. Businesses have been developed around it, apps, society, tradition, everything kind of developed around this system, which is kudos to the writing. I gotta say, great fucking job. I mean, awesome. You created a world where it's more realistic than I would have expected, because when you think, oh, there's this technology, you might think, oh, they are gonna use it to this, but eventually people will adapt and will see it as a way to make money, and that's what they did. They made places you can go to have like the final meal. You would have places to go where you would have discounts if you're dying. You would have discounts if you are going in this place or that place. You go to, like, there's like a place for them where they take every precaution there is so you can have whatever experience you want in VR technology. So you want to skydive, you can have that. You want to swim with the sharks, you can have that too. You want to do this, you want to do that. You can have any experience you want in this place, which is kind of interesting, you know, kind of fun, kind of out of the expected. And this story begins with this guy who has gotten his death notice, basically. And he is terrified. He is one of those guys that doesn't want to do anything. He's extremely scared. He's just super nice. And he begins with like, I don't want my name to be there, I don't want my name to be there, and bam, he sees his name. And he is going to die. So he downloads this app for them that they can like search for friends, people to talk to, people that they download. Like they created their own Twitter, but it's kind of like memorials for each person that dies, that downloads their life story in the feed. People that do experience their last moment, they have a party or do something crazy and they download it on this universe of theirs. And it is very, very, very interesting because it made me think to myself, wow. It made me think, yeah, if I was dying, I would have done most of these things. And if this world existed, these things would have people that provided it for you, from drugs to sex to everything you can imagine, because you are dying. So this guy downloads this app, and he's Mateo, I think his name. I forgot. It's the names I'm having. Like, this is my biggest issues. Sometimes if you watch my reviews, I don't remember their names. This is my kryptonite. I cannot remember people's names. I'm sorry. So I think Mateo and... I'm blinking, honestly. I am blinking on the other guy. This guy and this guy, okay? Scaredy, the other guy. I'm getting to him a little bit. So, the scared guy is downloading this app. He's trying to find people that he can talk to, meet up, have a conversation, whatever. Then it cuts to a different guy. And this is what I liked. It's kind of like a narrative camera, godlike, you know? It's not really from his point of view entirely until he meets persons and then it switches. No, it's kind of like a camera. The narrator tells you everything in this world and it shows you each different person's reaction to their way in life, routine, everything in a way. So it goes to this other guy who is beating up this scrawny asshole, and he gets the alert on his phone and he's like picking up and he's like, I'm dying. And his friends were like, no, you're kidding me. And he's like, no man, I'm dying. How? I don't know. So he bounces and says, you know, I'm sorry man, I gotta go. I need to be alone. And he's like, no, you need to come with us and be with us and all that stuff. And this guy kind of meets, and I don't want to ruin anything in this book. I just want to tell you that's kind of like the thing. So these two together go out as last friends. They don't know each other. They have never met before. And they're just meeting through this app. And they're like, how do you feel like if we meet and just hang out since we're both dying, basically? So they go on their journey to say goodbyes, to experience things before they die, to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. And it's very interesting, very heartfelt, but I don't know, man. Honestly, I just don't know. This book had a lot of potential. It had a lot of good things, good qualities. I wouldn't say it sucked or it was bad, but I don't know. I felt like they were missing something. It's like, I think the technology could have been explained more. This whole escape from it, it's kind of like people gave up on the whole thing. And I know, since this is kind of like taken years after this technology is discovered, so they know there's no escape. But I kind of wanted to see that, to see that struggle, to see that I want to ditch this, I want to do whatever I can. And they could have written it in a way that it was interesting, like through that escape you actually caused your death. And they touched on that through the president. The president kind of tried to escape his death by hiding in the bunker and ended up being shot by one of the security, and he kind of walked into his own death. I understand that, but I kind of wanted to see that chase, that escape, that I want to remove myself from it. But all I saw was just a countdown. And a countdown, and again, and again, and again, and again, and then they kind of both die at the end. And to somehow I wanted them to survive. I wanted to see the twist. It's not more like I was interested to the point I really wanted these characters to survive. I just wanted to see the twists. Because when you give up the ending in your title of the book, you expect, oh, this would have amazing twist. The very middle section of this book is gonna be so dense that the ending doesn't really matter. But it wasn't that. It was just like, okay. It didn't, like, if they didn't spoil the ending of this book by the title itself, they called it Death Clock or something, and they actually died at the end, you would feel sorry. You would feel like, that was awesome. Because I hoped like they would escape, but it kind of shot itself in the leg with the title. For me, at least. I felt like they kind of gave up with the big ending, which, yes, eventually they all know there is no escape, but this fantasy that you as a reader give up to yourself, you're like, no, there's still hope. They could still escape this. But when somebody robs it from you immediately and you're just watching this clock runs down and you're just watching the final moments, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that I didn't have moments in this book where I was like very touched and I honestly felt choked up. It had great moments, but it also didn't have great moments. It didn't have amazing, out of this world, groundbreaking moments. It just had cool, awesome, throughout the whole thing, sprinkled here and there. And honestly, I'm very torn with this book. I don't think it deserves to be a must-read, and I still don't think it's like, oh, forget about it, this is complete waste of time, garbage thing. No, it's somewhere in the middle, like leaning back and forth between the two, I would say if you are a sucker for heartfelt, cheesy, kind of interesting worlds and writing, I would say go for it. This is the book for you. If you are someone who likes to be intrigued, to have like twists and turns that you didn't expect, that you didn't want to happen but actually happened in a way you liked, I wouldn't recommend this book particularly. I would say keep it in the back burner. If you have time for it, go for it. If you don't, it's okay to miss it. So this book for me, I would give it a solid 5. out of 10. A solid 5 out of 10. I enjoyed the writing, I enjoyed the world building, I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed a lot of things in this book. But nothing really stuck out to the point I was like, yeah, this is something. You know? So thanks for watching and goodbye.